guys, so it's a little bit after we arrived from the lake. You know, set up the dogs, clean their paws. I just wanted to sit down here and talk to you guys about my training goals with them. I posted a poll over on Instagram and I asked you guys whether this would be something interesting for you guys to hear about, and you guys voted 100% yes. So I'm thinking that you guys do want to hear about our training goals. So let's start off with Dante and Peach jointly. What I want to do is I want to sharpen just their commands in general and just heel in general. So for example, right now when I tell them to sit, they sit, but they don't really sit like right when I stop. They kind of take a few more steps and then sit. When I first started to have them walk together, I wasn't being too harsh with the position of where they were, like when they would sit, or even in the heel position, to be quite honest. Like I was just really focusing on them not pulling. And the reason that I did that is because them going on a walk together in and of itself is already a huge distraction. Peach is a completely different dog from Dante. Peach is, you know, very nose happy. She wants to sniff everything on the ground. Dante has his own struggles, so he'll probably notice a person from way more far ahead than Peach, for example. And those are things that I needed to keep in mind when I was taking them out for a walk, because that just adds layers to distractions. So of course, before I started working on having them heel together, they both had to have a good foundation on healing by themselves. But the thing is, when they come together, it's almost like they have like this pack mentality in terms of they feed off of their energy a lot, you know. So it's something that we have to work on. I have to constantly, you know, remind them to be paying attention to me. I have to really make sure that they are engaged with me. And to start off, I was only taking them in places with very low distractions, because that's how you have to do it, you know. You can't, you know, they're already such a big distraction for each other that if I went and I put them in a place that had like a lot of people, a lot of dogs, it would just not set them up for success. So we're at a point now that we are in a good place in terms of them healing. They listen well, but definitely want to sharpen their commands so that it just looks nicer for the aesthetic, and also because, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what it would be. And I just want to preface that I'm explaining to you our training goals, but this doesn't necessarily mean that it will also be your training goals. I mean, the point of this video is just to kind of like touch base with you guys and hopefully inspire you guys to set some goals and systems for how to achieve those goals with your dogs. However, if you do have a dog that has a behavioral issue, as always, as I always recommend, you need to find a trainer. And if you're not sure about how to go about doing that, I did make a video all about finding the right trainer some time back, so I'll link it in the description if you guys are curious about that. But anyway, that is what I want to achieve with both Dante and Peach. And in today's outing, we did practice that a little bit. So I took a different kind of reward. I took this little like squeezable applesauce thing. I'm testing things out, and the reason that I'm trying to get different things as a reward is because I want to vary things as much as possible. And since I'm going to start to challenge them with, you know, these new things that I'm going to start training them for, I want to keep it fun and I want to keep it engaging. So if this, like, you know, I want it to be a special treat so that when we do go out and we do something challenging, it just adds more value to when they actually do something correctly. I would say that the little squirtable applesauce was good for distractions, you know, like if Dante were to see a person and he's holding his command and then he would look at me, I would give him a little bit of the applesauce. Same thing with Peach. So it was good for like stationary things, but I feel like it's a little bit too gimmicky for like if we're walking and I need to kind of give them something fast. I also think that I'm gonna have to get a different kind of treat pouch. I have a fanny pack right now, but I need something that will allow me to get the treats much quicker. And if you're curious as to why I'm using treats, if you guys have followed for a long time, you probably saw that in my how to train a kind Corso video, we weren't using treats for Dante for a while, and that's because he had some really awful trainers in the beginning of his puppyhood that really just like shove treats down his throat and completely desensitized him to it. So now that we've fixed a lot of problem behaviors that he did have, and I've addressed those things with him, I've been able to reintroduce treats and really reintroduce the value that they have. So now Dante is very engaged if he sees that treats are involved, whereas before he could care less about them. But that took some time. So if you guys are wondering like, oh, how come you're using treats now? It's because of that. I'm teaching him again that treats are a positive thing. So yeah, and Peach also loves treats. So I think that's a really helpful thing for them because they're both different dogs, but they both can be incentivized by the same thing. So yeah. Now for Dante, it's kind of cool seeing like what my training goals were a year ago when I made a video on him, because I remember like I was watching it and I was seeing how I was like, oh, I'd love to go in a store with him, and literally like we were able to do that like last video, and we've done that like progressing little by little, and now he's at a point that he is great in stores. Like he can see people and he's not like nervous or overwhelmed about it. So I want to keep working on that, so that he can continue to have all of these positive experiences with people. And yeah, so that's something with Dante. I want to continue training him in different places that he hasn't been before. And I also want to introduce a new command. It would be focused heel. Now, focused heel is considered an advanced command because there are a lot of moving parts within the command itself. It's a moving command, one, and there are so many things that your dog needs to be prepared for before, so that you can actually get that beautiful focused heel. So like your dog needs to have hind leg awareness, because naturally or commonly dogs, they don't really use their hind legs to move back, you know. Dante, sometimes when he's in a tight space, he'll kind of like, you know, he'll move back like that, but generally dogs don't really do it. And if you kind of like go like to a dog, they'll either sit or they'll kind of like be confused. So that's one thing that I have to teach Dante. With a focused heel, your dog looks way more focused. It's a very like overgeneralized explanation, but basically your dog is in the heel position and he has to be in that like right dead on spot of the heel position, and he's looking at you while he's doing the heel. So I saw a dog trainer called Oscar Mora. He said that this is a great command that he teaches his dogs, especially if they are in a situation that they're like unsure of, because it literally like teaches your dog to like maintain eye contact with you. So if they have like a distraction coming by, you can put them in a focused heel and naturally they'll go and they'll look at you. But for you to achieve that, there are a lot of steps that you have to go through. So that is something I would love to teach Dante. I feel like he is great at his basic obedience, and that would be like adding on to his tool belt of things that he knows. So yeah, let me know if you guys want to see like a week by week progress, or if you guys want to see like one video that is just kind of like showing start to finish all combined already, and by the end of the video he's already knows how to focus heel. Let me know what you guys think. I want to know what's more interesting for you. But yeah, so that's something that I definitely want to do with Dante. Now with Peachy Girl, you guys know she is a complete love bug, super excitable dog. So what my goals for her would be is that I want her obedience to be like 110% in like all kinds of circumstances. Like I want her to be spot on, and that's gonna take a lot of work because it's gonna have to be like, you know, very consistent, and I'm gonna have to take her to a lot of different places that I think are gonna challenge her in that way. So that's what I want to do with Peach, and I'm really excited about that because I think she has amazing potential, especially because she's so quick. She's extremely smart and a little bit independent, and I think that that's why sometimes I would say that she's a little bit harder to train in comparison to Dante in those terms, because she is more likely to challenge me more. So that can be like a mixture of a couple of things, you know, but I think that innately that's kind of like her personality. She's super smart, super like a little bit impatient. So that is something that I want to work on, and I feel like we'll be able to address all of those things with that goal in mind for her. So if I want her to be great in all of those different kinds of environments, in situations, we're gonna have to address each of those things individually. So that's something that I want to do with Peach, and I'm really excited. Yeah, so I hope that this video was interesting for you guys. Like, I really want to know if you guys want, how you guys want to see me do this for the dogs. Do you guys want to, like what I mentioned before, see something like week by week progress, or just like one video with them being like awesome already? The stuff that I really like and I'm excited about, but I want to make sure that it's also in the end going to be helpful for you guys. And I don't want to make like selfish content, you know, so I would really appreciate all of your feedback and your input on how you guys want to see this. And yeah, I hope that this video was insightful. I hope it helped, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye!